Hey people, it is Wednesday, November the 3rd, and the time is 12:15 in the afternoon, and the temperature is 6 degrees Celsius with a very chilly wind. And I'm here in previously uncharted territory for me. I'm on Don Mills Road in North York, and I'm about to walk over Highway 401. So I'm heading north on Don Mills Road and get a load of this. So that's looking westbound on the 401. And all those buildings, that's not downtown Toronto, that's North York. That's North York Center, which is around the intersection of Yonge and Sheppard. Downtown Toronto is actually back this way. And you might be able to make out the CN Tower between those two buildings. So we're a very long ways away from downtown here. And this is how the 401 is. It's not even rush hour. So that's looking south. Pretty incredible. This is North America's busiest freeway. And maybe one of the top 3 busiest in the world. If not the world. I'm not sure if that's changed or not. It's also one of the widest freeways in North America. I think it reaches up to 20 lanes at its widest point, with 16 lanes going along much of its length. There are collector lanes on the sides and express lanes in the center. And its formal name is the Macdonald-Cartier Freeway, although everyone just calls it the 401. So I'm just glad I'm not stuck in traffic on that thing. So I thought for this walk I would make my way up along Don Mills Road to the Fairview Mall, which is a large shopping mall that I've never been to. There are a few such large malls in Toronto that I've never been to simply because I have no reason to go to them. I live downtown, and lots of these large regional malls are kind of in the far-flung parts of the city, out in the boroughs. This one is in North York, as I mentioned. I have been to Yorkdale, though, in a couple of videos. I've never been to Sherway Gardens, which is another large regional mall. That one's in Etobicoke. And I've never been to Square One in Mississauga, which is the biggest mall in Ontario, and I think the second biggest in Canada after the West Edmonton Mall. And I did take the subway here. You can get to the Fairview Mall by subway. So I rode line 4, the Sheppard subway line, for the first time ever. It's another first for me. I've never had any reason to ride line 4, but being as I like to explore the city, I thought it was about time. I did that just for my channel. And also to get here. Didn't take all that long from downtown, really. About 40 minutes, I would say, to get to the Fairview Mall. And then I walked from the Fairview Mall down south here to the 401. So this is a post-war area of the city. It was built up after World War II, mainly in the 1950s and beyond. And as you can see, there are many of these kind of slab-style apartment buildings. These all sprung up in the 1960s and early 1970s. And much of the boroughs of the city, North York, Scarborough, Etobicoke, are filled with these apartment blocks. Kind of gives it a bit of a like Soviet look to it, I guess you could say. They do get called commie blocks sometimes. If you ever look at pictures of Moscow, you'll see thousands of such buildings. But this area has also been springing up some new modern condo towers, as you can see here. These are new additions. And of course, they contrast with the old commie blocks, which are mainly kind of boxy and brick and maybe 15 to 20 stories tall. Whereas this new generation tend to be glassy and quite a bit taller in many cases. And the Fairview Mall up ahead is surrounded by these commie block apartment buildings. Sure, the high density of population around the mall keeps it busy. There's definitely a wind chill factor in effect today. Feels almost like a winter day when the wind blows in your face. I think early this morning, it was 2 degrees, so it's getting pretty close to the freezing mark. Across the street here. I learned the hard way that if you don't press these buttons, the light just won't automatically turn green for you. It'll just assume the cars will take precedence and pedestrians don't exist. The streets are pretty wide up in these parts. Got like 6 lanes here. But at least there's sidewalks on both sides of the street, and there's frequent bus service in these parts of the city. In addition to the subway, which does come here, but many areas of the city that look like this don't have subway service. So that's why the bus service is very frequent. I'd say Toronto probably has the best bus service in any North American city in terms of frequency and routes and night service as well. There's an overnight service called the night bus. And I hope this cold weather does not drain my camera battery more quickly. And here's Sheppard Avenue. So this is a major east-west street that runs through North York. And there you can see North York Centre off in the distance again. We're just coming up onto the mall now. I'm going to retrace my steps I took going down to the way I went to start the video. Only this time I'll go into the mall. And since I've never been in this mall before, I might sort of wander around a bit and maybe take a wrong turn here and there. But hey, that's part of the fun. Let's see if I can make this light before it changes. Alright, I think I'm good. I'm going to go into the mall, but let's take a last look around here. And when I come out of the mall, I might come out the same way I go in. So I do remember the entrance to the subway station is just over here, through the parking garage. I kind of have to keep an extra eye on things when I do videos in a new area, just so I make sure I don't take any wrong turns and kind of look like a dingus, kind of wandering around like I'm lost or something. I don't think I'll spend more than 10 minutes or so walking around the mall. I think that's probably all it will take. And we are inside. I'm not sure what the security is like in this mall. In some malls they don't seem to care if you're recording. In other malls they instantly come and tell you you can't record. Such as 10 Dundas East downtown, across from the Eaton Centre, that small mall where the Cineplex is in Little Canada. They hate when people are recording in there. But in the Eaton Centre, just across the street, they don't seem to care one way or the other. So, my first time in Fairview Mall. I'm not expecting it to be much different than any of the other malls I have been to. Another major mall I've never walked around in. Or have I? I'm trying to remember. Can't remember if I've been to Scarborough Town Centre. I know I haven't since I've been living in Toronto. I might have went there once as a visitor, like maybe decades ago when I was a teenager. Got your usual selection of stores here. This isn't a particularly upscale mall or anything, not like Yorkdale or Sherway Gardens, which is also a bit on the upscale side. Now I have the lovely after effects of experiencing a runny nose after walking outside in that cold air. There's a Lego store. I found the food court. And if you want to sit down in the food court and eat, you do have to show your vaccine passport. And they do have security personnel there ready to check. Here's the Hudson's Bay Company store. I guess this is one of the ends of the mall. Let's back out to the parking garage. So I'll go up to the next level. I am holding my camera in a less conspicuous way. The way Mr. Strides holds his camera. Just to draw less attention to myself when I walk through these malls with unknown security measures. Looking down at the food court. And here's basically the upper level of the area I just walked through a moment ago. And there's a Kohl's bookstore. That always brings back memories, since that was my first ever retail job in North Bay. At Northgate Shopping Center, I worked in the Kohl's bookstore there, and that store is still operating. When I was just in North Bay last month, I walked by and I was like, yep, it's still there. I'll just walk back through along this upper level now. And there's an Apple store. And there's always a lineup at the Apple store. I wonder if they'll ever go back to just allowing people to walk inside like every other store. You don't really have to line up at any other store now. Only the Apple store. Lululemon. And up here there are a bit more on the way, some high-end retailers here. This is the higher square footage section of the mall. Higher cost per square footage. Zara. The Eaton Center is the same way. It's not a high-end mall by any means, but the upper level of the Eaton Center, the uppermost level, is where the more high-end stores are all located. And the lower level is, well, the complete opposite of that. Danish Pastry House. They have a location in Union Station, and I've tried them. They're pretty good. Old Navy.
Wait, where are you going?
Here's Marshall's Home Sense. That's a combined store. Those are two separate brands, but they're often combined together. There's another location like that downtown on Bloor Street, along the Mink Mile. Kind of stands out amongst all the high-end luxury retailers, but it is a very popular store. I thought I'd just take a peek outside here just to see what the surroundings look like here on this end of the mall. As I mentioned, all these high-rise apartments surround the mall. Not much to see. There's a tiny little shoe repair store. And that's the way I came in, so I'll be heading back down there momentarily. And I don't think I need to go any further, really. That's pretty much the end. So back down I go. This end of the mall seems to be undergoing some major renovations here, some new retailers. And this smells very good as we walk past here. Very, very, very good. See, it smells so good they had to stop and go in. So I don't know if there was any section of the mall I missed, but I don't think so. In any case, it probably was just more of the same. And now I can say that I've officially been to the Fairview Mall. And I probably won't have any really good reason to ever come back unless I want to shoot another video in the future for some reason. So now I think I'll just make my way over to the subway station and we'll wrap up the video. And then I'll begin a new video riding on line 4. My first ever video on that line. And there we are right there. So I'm going to wrap it up. So I hope you enjoyed the walk. Starting from looking down on a very congested Highway 401 and heading north along Don Mills Road to the Fairview Mall, where I took a walk around the mall. And then back outside into the parking garage and about to enter Don Mills Station. So leave a comment below and like and share and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And be sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. And if you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal and via my merch store. And you can also find me on Instagram under KContinuum. So thanks for watching, and be sure to keep sharking back because, as always, I will continue.